What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Assim, aka Snoop. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is part 3 of Mutual Minds episode 1. In this cast, we had a lot of great conversation. It was mostly just to test the waters and see what we could do to improve the cast. I think it was pretty good, and I hope you guys feel the same way about it. I didn't release all the footage because there was a lot. We talked for a very long time. We had very good conversation, but it was just hard to fit all of it in into a reasonable amount of time for you guys to watch. Also, another thing I wanted to announce and say myself, I already said it in the last video, but it was towards the end, so I don't know if most of you guys caught it or not. Our shop is finally up, dreamboxshop.creator-spring.com. You can go ahead and find our merch there. We have Cloud Pink, Cloud Black, and Cloud White right now. Cloud Pink is the only limited shirt on the shop right now. That shirt is just a limited time because it's just to support breast cancer as of right now for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But orders for that order will be stopped on November 1st, so if you still haven't caught one, go ahead. 15% of all profits made from the Cloud Pink shirt are going to go straight to the NCBF Foundation, so if you guys haven't already caught that shirt, please go ahead and do so. It helps support. And another thing I wanted to touch on before the video started was we do have other content in the making other than just podcasts, so please be on the lookout this week for that. I'm very excited about the direction Dreambox is going in this year, and especially going into next year. It's going to be a very big thing, and I hope to see a lot of you guys still there on the journey with me in the next 2 years, 1 year, 2 months, whatever it may be. Because at the very end of the day, we all like making the content just because we like making the content. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up and stop talking. This is episode 1, part 3 of Mutual Minds. I hope you guys enjoy the last part of this episode. If you do, go ahead and leave a like right now. But yeah, to wrap this all up, thank you guys so much for listening and staying tuned with the podcast. We really appreciate it. There's already 2 parts out, so if you guys haven't checked those out, please go ahead and do so. I touched more about merch in the end of the last video, part 2. So if you guys want to go check that out, please go ahead. But I hope you guys enjoyed part 3 of Mutual Minds episode 1. Again, there was a lot of footage, so I'm just showing you the remains of it in this video. It's not going to be dumb long, but it's also not going to be dumb short. If you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. I checked my analytics the other day, and apparently 50% of you guys aren't subscribed that are watching the video, so we need to change that. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll literally do anything. Watch out within the next week for our first content video to drop, not a podcast, a content-filled video. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's been Assim, aka Snoop. Dreambox out.
Fix them.
That was another crazy thing too. Literally the second day GTA 5 came out, do you guys remember that news headline where that dude just went crazy and he actually like pretended like real life was GTA? You guys,
I remember
you
the
guys
guy that flew the plane.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Yeah, it hit, bro. It was wild, bro. It was literally the next day, and my dad was like reconsidering like giving me GTA
Letting
5.
you play.
Yeah, he was reconsidering.
Wait, what happened?
So, you want to explain, Anthony?
So from my understanding is there was this guy who, like in GTA, you can learn how to fly a plane, and it gives you like the basic controls of like you pull back to go up, all that, etc. This guy stole like I think I can't tell if it was a jet or a plane, but it wasn't that big. It was a plane, and he was flying around and he was talking like on the radio system, yeah, to the people, like to the commander or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just over here flying. I learned off the virtual reality game GTA 5," and then he was just like flying. He was literally doing tricks in the sky. It was his first time flying. He was like doing the loops, you know what I'm saying, where you go up and go around. He was doing all that shit, and then but he was ready to die. He wanted to kill himself, but he was just flying around, and then he inevitably landed, I think, and then he was I think he got arrested and everything because, well, he stole a plane. But it was so crazy that he learned how to fly a plane, went and stole a plane and flew it. Like, that is just so crazy to me.
To perfection too, from
Right.
GTA.
They're doing tricks. Like,
That's different. That's that's different. What a W.
Another level. Throughout quarantine, I liked gaming, but I only liked gaming because that's like all I could do to like talk to people. Like, I didn't like hanging out with people anyway. Like, quarantine was no different from my real life. Like, just honestly, it was no different other than like I literally could not see some people, like if they had COVID or if they were actually sick. Like, that was the only difference. Like, I couldn't leave my house if I didn't feel good. I couldn't see. I don't know. I couldn't meet new people. That was the only thing that sucked. I couldn't really meet new people.
you keep saying quarantine, but it really didn't feel like much of a quarantine for me, or maybe it's because I'm not in school anymore. But
That's true.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
is
like
very
it
true.
only really felt like a quarantine for students.
But you were
because
also
pe-
homeschooled, so you already experienced quarantine, like through
That's
or
true.
without a
true.
quarantine.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
So whatever
So
you
it-
like, you're homeschooling in high school. That's exactly what quarantine.
Bro.
No, this shit pissing me off, bro. No, this shit pissed me off.
It's
No, this
only
shit
you.
got me
I'm not
heated,
touching
bro.
my mouse at all. I'm not touching my mouse
I
at
don't
all,
know,
dude.
bro.
Bro,
I'm about
I
to.
swear I'm
that
not
shit.
either, bro.
That shit got me pissed off, bro.
Swear
I'm about to open a game up in the background or something,
For
bro.
Yeah,
sure.
literally, play Minecraft or something.
That's
But as
crazy.
I was saying, so your definition of quarantine is literally just homeschool. Whatever you did in homeschool, that was literally
Right.
quarantine for us. Like that was exactly what it was.
And actually, I graduated early January, like mid-year.
Yeah,
my
I remember
junior
that. I remember that. We were on
So-
CS:GO when you graduated.
Year. Yes. I got my diploma online, and I got that shit, bro. And they mailed it to me too, though, so I have a physical copy. But whatchamacallit?
I
And then
have
the
a
next
physical
month-
copy.
the next month, February, or it was like February, March area, where COVID hit. It really, literally hit right after I graduated, and I also just started working at the 99 cent store, I believe.
Mhm.
So everything was like a lot different. I went from going to work without a mask and everything to because the first few months of quarantine, you didn't have to wear a mask.
Mhm.
You just were working. Then they were like, "Yo, be careful. There's sick motherfuckers around." So then, but like a few months later, you had to wear it was like they made it seem like it was life or death if you didn't wear a mask.
Yeah,
And then
right.
they made it seem
you
like-
were the problem. The entire
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. So, but what sucks is I was quote unquote an essential worker. By the way, people who got unemployment got paid more than people who were working the essential jobs, which is so stupid because the essential jobs are fast food, like travel, and fucking like it's like shit that doesn't really seem essential.
A dispensary. That was essential. But
Well, yeah,
that's crazy because it's still like
there's
illegal though.
medical marijuana.
yeah.
Because it's medical, it's necessary. But if it wasn't medical, it wouldn't be.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the quarantine it just made work more inconvenient. But other than that, all the adults were still going out like everything was normal. In fact, they had people protesting the quarantine, which is actually crazy to me. Like people like
Yeah, I
protesting.
know,
against-
right? I remember that. I remember seeing that
Yeah.
all over Instagram and stuff. I'd be like, this is like so ironic. This is actually crazy.
But yeah, I just wanted to make my little quarantine comment. It seemed like quarantine really only hit for students, other than like
Yeah.
people who are working like the 9 to
It
5s.
hit, but then it got boring.
Well, you say boring, but it's like it didn't seem like they restricted as much as they said they would. Like there was supposed to be no people leaving the towns. They were supposed to have like stationary posts
true.
of like guards that were like watching and shit. People were supposed to be getting fined for not wearing a mask. Like they made it seem
Yeah,
like it was gonna be
facts.
all extreme, but then nothing happened.
Yeah.
Besides, then that's when the whole BLM, the George Floyd. That's like everyone was so upset about the
Yeah, that's
quarantine.
another thing too. Everyone was mad upset about quarantine until that George Floyd thing happened. And then COVID just somehow didn't exist all of a sudden.
Exactly. Everyone was marching
Everyone
and
was-
everything.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I understand the reason why. Like, I'm not trying to depreciate that whole situation. Obviously, it was messed up, but it's just, it was the irony in it of, yeah, we should stay inside. We shouldn't protest. Like, stop protesting, guys. Go stay inside. Stay
Right.
healthy. You were saying that to the non-vaccinators, but since it's for a different cause, it's okay. Like, that's
Right,
what
yeah.
doesn't make sense to me.
Back to Antonio's point about being a hypocrite.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
that's exactly the worst.
Exactly, bro. America's so goofy in the head, bro. Other countries look at us, and I'm not gonna say us. Other countries look at y'all, and
Okay. Yeah, okay.
they laugh, bro. They just laugh. Like people think America thinks that they're like the top tier country. Nah.
Because we're not
Go
actually
anywhere
going through
else.
shit.
Go anywhere
All
else,
our
bro.
drama is inside. The other people's countries' drama is happening from other places happening to their place. Like the whole Taliban shit. Like there's actually having stuff happen to them. We're
Bro,
not having anything.
The only
to it.
reason other countries have drama is because of the U.S. Because the U.S. keeps messing with
Yeah.
other countries.
Facts. Do you know what's funny about that George Floyd, like the protest and the marching or whatever?
Hmm.
It's not funny. It's actually really weird. There was pallets of bricks laid out everywhere along the city for people to use to break the windows and vandalize. But
Bro, that's actually
That's ridiculous.
no, but it wasn't the protesters that put it there. It was the government. Like they had people. And did you know that there was a lot of actual cops in the protests that were doing most of the vandalizing and like starting the fires
Yeah, I
and like
saw that actually. I saw that. Like
it was like an inside job of the protest to make the BLM seem like a bad cause. And like
Exactly.
it was like infiltrated. It was like a third party. It was so weird. The
There was...
whole yeah.
Sorry. Keep going.
I was gonna say, well, the whole thing just seemed like it gave me like 9/11 flashbacks of like where it was like seems like an inside job of
Hmm.
like trying to make a whole propaganda of like no, this protest is causing all this damage, but really it's the people they're protesting against that are causing the damage. Like it's a whole 360 of just bad shit. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous.
There was something like that in Spokane actually when there was protests here. There was talk about like KKK members from Idaho pulling up, and they like actually started vandalizing shit, and it's literally just like actual like racists that just pulled up, and they were just gonna like make it look
Right.
like it was a bad like bad protest and just shit like that. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I feel like the internet just makes such a horrible perception of things. Like
That's
way
true.
worse than it is.
The media did make everything worse. The media ruined the whole Black Lives Matter movement, the whole COVID situation. Literally everything is just
Especially with
social
that
media.
all lives matter shit, where like the people
Yeah,
who didn't like Black Lives Matter were just like, no, all lives matter, and that's when
yeah,
it really became a
A
problem.
protest to a
Because
protest, literally.
yeah.
exactly, they don't understand what they were doing, and they were being so ignorant and naive. They were like, no, you're what about? Okay, I'm Mexican, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the Mexicans were like, what about us? We go to all this shit as well because we're
But it's
also
not.
brown.
It's not like what about us? It's like just focus
It's
on the main issue.
helping
Like
that cause will help everyone's cause. Like they don't
exactly.
Literally.
understand it.
Yeah.
And Mexicans are like in the middle of that spectrum of where either they're oppressed or they're like not it's really hard to say Mexicans can be privileged. They really can't in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they aren't I feel like they aren't as oppressed. Besides the whole ICE and the whole border shit that's going on.
Yeah, that's
Because I
true.
don't know if you guys have heard, but like the whole cartel is really bad right now, dude.
It
They're
is. It's
doing
horrible.
they're killing so many people. They're killing the guards, the police. They're doing everything, dude. They're
Yeah.
literally are running that country.
They're killing everybody. Like they literally
Yeah,
are that country. Like
they're
call the
like a whole.
police. They'll kill them. Let's.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's so scary actually for like Mexicans and
Oh
even if
yeah.
you're in the U.S., like you have family that are in Mexico, you know.
It is really
Yeah.
sad
But
because there was actually this there's two tourists that moved to or that didn't move. They went to Mexico as like for a tour because they never been. They were just visiting.
right.
And they were at this pizza shop and there was like four group of people like I guess members of the cartel or something. They were sitting in this pizza shop as well, or this food shop, and they thought these two white men were cops because they never see white people in their town. So they thought these two white men were cops. So all these the four Mexicans, they all look at each other and signal each other, and as the two sit down, the two white men sit down, the tourists. These four men walk up and start stabbing them. They stab them each 14 times because they thought they were cops, but really they were
God
just tourists.
damn.
They were just tourists. But
That's ridiculous.
things like that fly because it's Mexico. Like this is they run
Right.
it. That's just how it is. They assume who you are. They don't know you. They will do something about it, bro.
That's different.
That's how it is. Like New York is a great example too. Like you know how you just can't be in some hoods in New York because if you don't know somebody, it's
Yeah.
just up for you pretty much.
Well, it's
That's
like
how
the
it is
same
in
way in
Mexico.
LA a little bit.
It's the same way everywhere, but in Mexico, it's taken way more serious. It's like flipped
Yeah.
to a whole different level. If you don't know somebody, they will kill you. If you
Like,
don't know somebody in
there's
LA, they'll beat you up. Okay, whatever.
Right, you get jumped, you get your clothes taken
Yeah,
over. You're
right.
still alive.
You're still alive.
Like-
Thank God. Like
You still going home?
yeah, right. Yeah, at least you got something to give. Like at least you got something.
Dude, in Mexico, they have like machetes. They cut you into pieces, bro. They torture
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
they
like,
will
different,
not let
bro.
you go. They will not let you speak. Like they will not give you an opportunity to speak to somebody. They won't. They won't let it happen. It won't happen.
Right.
Especially if you're not from there. Like, who are you gonna go to?
And then you wonder why Mexicans are jumping the border. You wonder why they have illegal immigrants coming over here. There's a whole situation going on in Mexico that's just not a healthy environment, especially for
I know.
children. You know?
And it's just ironic to me because the U.S. they wanted to have the U.S. be a refugee site for people that
We're
are going
literally
through war.
immigrants. Like
Yeah.
Americans are literally immigrants.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
Talk about it.
It's like I don't know.
It's just hypocritical.
It's
Yeah.
just, I'm saying,
Bro, the title
bro.
of this podcast is Hypocrites.
I'm saying.
The title of this
Damn near.
podcast is
Let me
Hypocrites.
find out you're
man.
not recording.
I'm
No, I'm
recording.
just kidding.
We're an hour deep right now. 57
Damn,
minutes.
already?
57 minutes, yeah.
That's
Probably
crazy.
longer because we've been talking longer, but
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
probably.
I really wish Kel was here, man. I want to hear what he thinks about all this.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Kel's really smart. Like he actually has like he has good opinion based like theories.
Yeah,
and
he's the
stuff.
oldest one here too.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
He's like 23, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's 23. I think he's 22. I don't know.
I guess that's just more for y'all to look forward to. Am I right?
Am I right? Am I right?
22.
Guess y'all got to come back for the next episode to hear what this wise, fine young gentleman's got to say.
Right. Oh, fine indeed. Anyways.
Y'all get his camera too. He probably be wearing a white beater.
The
Hey,
black white
Oh
beater?
yeah, let's call it
Not me.
before we even. I don't think Kel's gonna watch this thing to the end. Before he's on the cast, what do you think he's gonna be wearing?
If he like,
He wears a
It
solid
depends.
3 things, bro. I swear.
yeah, he's either gonna like try to come correct, like try to stunt low key for like the first couple of episodes. But if it's Kel being himself, he's pulling up in a black white beater for sure.
I really
That's
think he's going to wear a hoodie. It's because you guys are doing this at nighttime. I feel like he's going to be in a
like,
hoodie.
he still wears a white beater at
But
night.
yeah, at night he goes to sleep in a white beater. That's the
Oh,
thing.
really?
I take my white beater off to sleep, but sometimes I
was
fall
gonna
asleep in it.
Ooh, can you imagine Kel without a shirt on? Oh, my God.
Bro, what the?
Okay, chill out.
Okay. My bad. Anyways,
Your mom's watching this,
Hey.
bro.
all right, I can climb a tree, yo. Believe it or not, I may be big, but I can climb a tree.
I could probably climb a tree. I probably.
Like, have y'all ever seen a bear climb a tree?
That's
That
you.
shit is terrifying, bro.
That's you, bro.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
He said, "Yeah, that's actual real life footage of me."
He said, "Have you ever seen me climb a tree? That's just crazy.
I'll send you a link.
Falling over and shit.
Oh my goodness!
You ever seen a black bear climb a tree? Yeah, that's really just me. Like what?
Surprise!
Surprise! I'm the one eating your honey.
Hey, yo.
You finna buy a bicycle?
This sounds like a perfect time to end the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Mutual Minds, episode 1. We appreciate y'all staying in contact with the podcast or the
Bro
channel.
said
too.
nobody gives a fuck about your run to work. We ending it here.
Yeah, bro, I really
Good night,
gotta
y'all. Good night, y'all. This been cool. Will Anthony get a ride? Who cares? Tune in next week, though. You know what I mean?
All right, bro. You got it.